Tuesday night, next up for Canada, it's Colombia in Harrison, New Jersey, the 13th ranked team in the world. Look, I think this team is one that can make a lot of noise in next summer's World Cup. They have top talent across the board. Luis Diaz of Bayern Munich. I love the central midfielder, Richard Rios. Daniel Munoz might be the best right back in the Premier League right now, playing for Crystal Palace. Like, he is that good. So this is going to be a real test for Canada. This is Oh Canada, Oh Baby, Part 3. Trezo. Look, the discussion, Canada facing a low block, they're not playing that on Tuesday night. And I think that that's going to be a bigger concern. Like, look, when you're playing against a talented squad like Colombia, personnel matters. The way that you set up your team matters. Now a center-back partnership or Cornelius, Defougerol, or Waterman, or Kamal Miller, some sort of mix of them, now need to deal with a very potent Colombian side. Colombia takes on Mexico on Saturday night. That, for me, is going to be telling. And this is a time where it might come apparent and reality might set in what life looks like without Moise Bombito at the back. This is what makes me very nervous. More nervous than playing a stubborn, defensive, well-organized side like Australia. It's games like this. I know that Canada in the past, under Jesse Marsch, whether they're playing Argentina, they've been competitive. Some really good teams they played some decent football against. But without Bombito, taking him out of the equation, it's going to be a really big test. It might tell some uncomfortable truths about where Canada's backline stands at this time.
Yeah, and I just hope Luc Defougerol, if he is starting, is healthy enough to really give it a go. Look, these are the type of matches when you're playing Colombia, ranked 13th, have so many players on the team, John, that can hurt you. And just the system that they play. What was the stretch that they went on? It was like 20-something games unbeaten. Like, they're exceptional. They play exceptional football. But you need to put 19-year-old Luc Defougerol and test him and see what it's like going against a team like that, that if you're not perfect on the day, they'll roast you, they'll cook you up, and they'll chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, dynamic all over the field, attacking-wise, dynamic. The back line for Canada needs to be solid. You talk about Luc Defougerol's, you talk about Cornelius, who came out of this game possibly with an injury.
Quad,
you know, if we're going to have a back line that's going to be pieced together for this game, they're going to need to have one of their better games against a team that's going to come at them and trying to put them on their back foot.
Pro-Colombian crowd as well. I don't love the fact that they're playing in Harrison, New Jersey. This is the reality of the situation. We want more games in Canada, but if Canada wants to test themselves against top opponents, they're going to go where the promoter can make money from the game and with the pro-Colombia crowd. That's why they're playing this one in New Jersey. Okay, so their opponent, very good. We get it. But what do we want to see in terms of selection from Jesse Marsch in this coming match? With some players like Ahmed, Jesper Sorensen is not going to be happy if Ali Ahmed has come down with anything from that game, by the way, because the Whitecaps have some big games to come. What are we looking at? Who do we want to see in the 11? I'm assuming Eustachio comes in, maybe Oluwaseyi. What else, or who else?
I mean, I think Oluwaseyi will start, but I just, like, if I have one call to make to Jesse Marsch, what I saw from Promise David as well, I think this type of match just really go and see and test him. I'm not saying that he has to play full 90, but start him. Because what he showed when he came on as well was something different. But again, that little bit of balance of understanding the role to try to hold up the play. And, okay, is he going to be out and pressing and doing all the things that Jesse Marsch wants to do all the time? No, but is he lively in and around the box? Yes. I think when you're playing this Colombia team, you just want to strike in form. So I think Promise David, if he could get the shout and get a start, that'd be a step in the right direction for this team.
I like to Promise David shout because you should reward him for his performance when he came in and made an impact tonight. I'm going to keep my eye on the goalkeeping, obviously, because I'm a goalkeeper, and see how Dane St. Clair does.
It's a big game.
Big game for him. I think one of these guys, again, Jesse Marsch has given them a ton of chances to grab this thing and run with it, and somebody just needs to separate themselves. Can it be Dane St. Clair against Colombia that does that? We'll see.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I just look at this window. Marsch said to his group he wanted 2 wins. Does it change the talking points around this men's national team if they go 2 games, 2 losses this window? Because inevitably the performances are one thing, but if you lose 2 games, does this recalibrate after just about everything went right last window? Which also, context matters. because when they played Romania in Budapest, it was essentially a warm-up game as they had a World Cup qualifier right after. And for Wales, it was almost like a cool-down game because they just played a World Cup qualifier before that. You're playing games over here. How would that maybe change the way that you look at this team?
It should change things, but in Canada, it doesn't really, right? Like, I think a lot of people are still like, they look at things and like, okay, well, they played well. They only lost by 1 goal. There's a lot to like. I think in other countries it's different, right? You expect every single time you play to go and win. So I kind of see it. A part of me is like, I even think about today. When I was watching the match, I was like, oh, I want to see more, I want to see more. But then when you reflect on it, in international football, there were enough chances today for Canada to really take the lead. Yeah, okay, they're playing against a low block, and you still want to see more positive performance when they play like that, but there still were big chances. Colombia is going to be a totally different test that you've already said, Wheels, but you just want to see how they react. And if you lose 1-0 there, I don't think it's a horrible performance, but no 3-0s or nothing crazy where you don't get shots on goal. You have to see them still stick it and make sure that they're up for the fight.
To answer your question, I think if you do come out of this with 2 losses, then we have every right to be critical of what's going on. I mean, it's 2 losses in a window where you're trying to get this team prepared in less than a year for a World Cup. I think you have every right to be critical of performance, of how they got prepared, were they prepared, did they plan accordingly for these matches? And I think we should be asking those questions. But again, you're going to go to Harrison on Tuesday night and get a result and play well. Then we come out of this going, okay, no problem.
One thing that's not an excuse, because this is football, injuries and absences.
Yeah.
You just can't use it because come next summer, some key players could be, hopefully not, but could be on the outside looking in. So you need to see progress in terms of the way that the team plays. I'm not sure that we saw this tonight. Maybe a little bit par for the course. Certainly not poor, but yeah, perhaps, Jordan, you said it, wanting more. We'll see if more is given or provided on Tuesday night after the Thanksgiving long weekend. Just go easy on the turkey.
Gobble, gobble.
And the mash.
I'm a stuffing guy.
Right?
Gobble,
Big
gobble.
stuffing
Me too.
guy.
I love a stuffing. So does Brandon.
Let's hope that
Brandon.
Let's hope that Canada does the stuffing on Tuesday night,
There we
not
go.
the other way around.
Well done.